All right. Welcome, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of The Game Drain. With me, your host, Matt Likes Games, Hard Days Mike. Today we have Twan absent. I believe he's doing some stuff with family, which is cool. But we have somebody that stepped in his place for today. I thought he was just going to be a guest and Twan was going to be on as well, but just so happened Twan had, some stuff to do. So it was nice to have a fourth person still, even though he's gone today. So I'd like to welcome our guest today, Infinite Umbra. What's going on, bro?
Oh, not too much, Ham. Just excited to sit here and talk with you three gentlemen, and chop up the news of the week. Absolutely. Uh, yeah,
Gonna be
I
fun,
have.
man.
Absolutely, haven't had a chance to speak with all of you guys before yet, so this will be very
Yeah.
interesting for me.
You know what, bro? I got a quick question for you before we even get started with this whole show and yada yada yada. I need to know, like, before it was Eternal Umbra, right?
It was, yeah. I had it as eternal. You know, it was actually it's actually like my third iteration because people would look at my Twitter account now like, oh, he's only been on here for a year. Yeah, with this account. But I used to be Eternal, and before that, something else. I forgot what. But yeah, I used to get into the little back and forths with some PlayStation extremists, and it
Oh
got me
God.
caught up. Yeah, so I
Mike.
smartened up. I
Keep them on
smartened
their
up.
toes.
He said, "Oh
Yeah,
On their
God."
toes.
yeah. I smartened up and was like, "That's enough. That's enough." And I had to bring the more mature me out.
I'm trying to wonder now what his original cat was. Did he forget about it, or is he trying to bury that in the past? Now that's what I'm wondering.
It was all like some play on like eternity or infinity or
Oh,
something like that. I know, but I can't remember the last one before eternal though.
Pony Destroyer
Okay.
Infinity. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Anyways,
right.
sorry. Go on.
oh man, that's fantastic. So it was a because I was looking over and I was like, wait a second, did I say infinite when it was supposed to be eternal? And then
That's
I
what I
look back at
thought.
your profile and then it says infinite right now. And I was like, yeah, I got it right, but what the fuck? like just
Yeah,
yeah, I'm happy that you could clear that out or at least clear it up on my end because I was confused.
absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Like it's funny because even on Twitter, I mean not on Twitter, on YouTube, I had to change it because I still had it as Eternal on Twitter. Yeah, even when I was coming to like your past shows and podcasts or whatever, I still had it Eternal. And I'm like, why do I still have it as Eternal? Let me just change it. So I changed it now to Infinite on that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome to the show. I just need to know, brother, before we even get started, how have you been doing? It's a pleasure to have you as on your space, or at least listening to your space. I wasn't on it, but I was listening to your space for a good, like, solid, like, hour and a half. I want to say. I don't know. I hopped in at some point. I mean, everybody had some pretty compelling things to say. It was pretty cool to see y'all say, yo, telling some people to chill out, calm down, and, come back for a different space if y'all want to trip out. It was pretty cool to see that, to see you kind of controlling the crowd and whatnot like that. But how you been, man?
Man, I've been all right. You know, that's why I put in my bio MC. MC means move the crowd, right? So
Okay.
I have to. You got to direct them, man. That's all it is. And they know coming into my spaces that's pretty non-toxic. I don't suffer all the silly, the silliness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Respectfully, of course. And I'm going to talk to men like men. I'm going to talk and treat women like women. I'm not going to be disrespectful, and I just want everybody to
Yeah.
keep the same energy to everybody else. But I've been good, man.
Yeah.
The whole unsubscribe brigade, you know,
Mhm.
had to address it. Yeah, I saw a lot of that popping up with the I don't guess I want to throw his name out there, but a few of these so-called journalists and such, and I had to just like, hey, let's see what everybody let's check the temperature and see where everyone is at. I guess. So
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty well though. Otherwise,
yeah,
enjoying some gaming.
and just to throw that out there, ain't nothing wrong with unsubscribing. The the the
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
the weird thing about it is
No, if you
toting
don't give Microsoft
is
your money, dude,
is
might as
like
well throw your phone.
toting how like
Sorry.
how you're unsubscribing and oh man,
Yeah.
like look at me, I unsubscribed, you guys should follow me, and it's kind of It's kind of weird.
It is. It is.
But like I've unsubscribed from Game Pass a couple times. I've unsubscribed from Netflix a couple times. I've unsubscribed. I mean,
Oh
these
yeah.
subscription services, when they don't have anything for me, I unsubscribe. Totally fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I've never hopped. I've never
Until-
hopped onto a social media service and been like, you know what, y'all? I got rid of Hulu.
Right.
Right. I would never get on. I would never get on Twitter and be like, I got rid of my Netflix account. It's like, so
Exactly.
who cares?
And if I
Literally.
wouldn't you want to know why? I mean, I mean, for me, like I remember once I said, oh yeah, I think I said I got rid of PlayStation Now, and my reason behind it was because the only game they had that I wanted to play was Left 4 Dead, or not Left 4 Dead, The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2
Yep.
was the only game that I was interested on there. I wasn't interested in the cloud gaming. I wasn't interested in any of the
No.
PS4 titles that they had on there at the time. I'm starting to come around and become interested in it now. And I definitely want to try out the new service that they're going to be rolling out, because I'm not just going to be like, oh, it sucks, without trying it. So I'm really excited to see what goes down. But yeah, I definitely told people straight up, like, yo, like PlayStation Now isn't really it, other than like these couple of games that might be on there, and they only had The Last of Us 2 on there for like 4 months.
Like
Yeah.
he has like 3
Can
months or something.
Can I say something real quick about PS Now?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's really funny is I remember in the early days, like very, very early days, it was very select. I don't even think you could stream it on PlayStation 3. Yeah, I can't really remember, but I remember playing it the first time I ever used it streaming wise was on my PS Vita. And the first game I played on it was Sniper Elite V2. That game's fantastic, by the way. I don't know if you guys have played that Sniper Elite game, but that's a great game. And it's just kind of crazy though. Even though their streaming technology isn't perfect, it's kind of crazy to see how far it's come. Because I remember playing on that thing, and it was like felt like 2 FPS running at like. It was on the Vita, mind you. So that thing already had a bad Wi-Fi chip in it. So
Yeah.
but I still love my Vita. But yeah,
I mean, I tried it back in 2018 and the streaming wasn't great. And then I tried it again recently and it's fine. It's good.
Yeah. That's how I played. I've been playing Killzone 2 with it that way. And I'm not having too much of an issue.
Killzone 2. Yeah, that's a tough game for me to play streaming. But yeah.
I tried streaming for PlayStation. I did it to play through God of War again. It's been a long time, so I had played through God of War 1, and I wanted to play through 2 because I had bought 3 for the PS4, the remastered edition, and I was like, yeah, let me get through these again. So it was hit or miss. Like the connections were, so. I would have issues and such like that. And then it's the whole, lack of having it actually stored on your hardware. So you would have to go through streaming only. To me, that became problematic, and I just hope that they had a better solution, which it seems like they're kind of going toward now.
Yeah,
But
they're trying.
Yeah, because it started off as a streaming only service. There was no downloading.
Exactly, and at 720p, I think at the time too.
Yeah, 720p. I think it was capped at 30, no matter what. Even the game was 60, which was so rare, anyways.
Yeah, so it was very like hit or miss for me. The service, I had no reason to have it. So much like him, it was like, do I really need this? Like I'm getting everything I need on the Xbox side of things, as far as most everything else. And for the few PlayStation exclusives that I would want to play on my PS4 at the time, now I have a PS5. But at the time, it was like, I didn't really need it. I'm not as involved into the ecosystem. But I agree. If you want to unsubscribe to something, there's no crime. That's what these services are for. If they're not offering you, something for your buck, but like you all said, I'm not going to be going online to grandstand like, oh, I got rid of Netflix, which literally, by the way, I did last week. But I'm not. You don't see me online.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got
I'm
rid of
about
Netflix.
to.
Everybody, you don't have to do that. And I think these people doing it. I think they have an agenda. That's just my
to me.
projection.
And for
It seems
me,
like it.
for Netflix on this, just I know we're talking about Netflix now, but like I'm getting rid of Netflix not because of all this stuff that's going on. Really, I'm getting rid of it just because I mean, other services are providing me the same feeling for a cheaper price, and
I agree.
and that's kind of how I feel with Game Pass right now, with them introducing PlayStation Plus. Like, I think PlayStation Plus looks pretty cool, but for the
Yeah.
price, I can't really justify it versus Game Pass right now.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to the streaming thing you guys were talking about just a moment ago, or that we were talking about. I think the streaming idea is dope that they have, but the way that Xbox implemented it, where it's streaming is a second option, not a first option. I think it's a
Right.
great thing because I don't know how many times I've booted up a game off of a stream just because I know that I don't think I'll like this game, but I want to try it real
Yes.
quick. So
Can I just say? Oh,
so
sorry, go on.
so yeah, in that sense, I think streaming is fantastic and absolutely useful, especially when you're out of town or kicking it with the fam or whatnot, or not on your actual console. But anyways, yeah, Mike, what'd you have to say? My bad.
Yeah, one thing. This I'll make it super quick, but
Well, you're good.
one thing I was not a big fan about with PS Now, and I don't know if it's still the case. Let's say you start streaming a game and you like it, and you go to download it. If you don't own PS Plus, the saves do not cross over. If you download the game, you have to restart it. And
Wait, so you mean like streaming PS4 games?
yeah, no. So yeah, like example, when back in 2018 or 19, I wasn't gaming much, so I boot up my PlayStation. I got PS Now, but I didn't have Plus because I didn't play anything online. So I was playing Borderlands: The Handsome Jack Collection. I was like, this is pretty fun, but I bet it'd be better if I download it locally. And I download it locally. It's like you have to have PS Plus to transfer your saves over to play it after you download it. And that's when I kind of was like, all right, I don't really give a shit
Yeah,
anymore.
that kind of sucks.
But I don't know if that's still a thing. But I just
I
remember
don't
that kind
know.
of.
That's really interesting. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, if they're trying to put them all together, if PS Plus is becoming PS Premium now, sorry, whatever the hell it's called, there's so many names, then hopefully that'll be taken care of. But yeah, it's
Loke called it something I thought was kind of cool. He calls it Triple P because it's PlayStation Plus Premium. Triple P.
Okay.
Triple P.
I like
So they're
that name.
literally pushing P in his
They
example.
pushing P.
Yep.
Yeah, they pushing that P. The power of that
They
P.
are.
Our favorite Texan.
All right. Well, let's get on to the questions of the show and whatnot. Let's keep it moving. That was a nice little welcoming introduction to Infinite Umbra. But anyways, I want to know what's everybody been playing. And I'm gonna start off with the guests. What's going on, bro? What you been playing today or
For me,
lately?
I've been playing some Trek to Yomi. I actually beat that and I got the 1,000 for that. I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I give it about a 7.5, if not an 8 out of 10. And it's kind of funny because it's taboo to some people when you give a game, at least to I guess our hooved brethren, when you give a game like a 7 point something. Oh, 7. Oh,
Yeah, how's it
dare
great?
right. How dare you touch that? We have greatness on this side. We can't touch sevens. But 7 is actually
Yeah.
a good game. That's considered a good game. We've
It
got so
is.
detached from the scoring. It's like, what? 7 is bad now? But no, I say a 7.5, if not an 8 out of 10. Probably 8 overall. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. And I did a little, super cut myself where I put a little video together of my kills and stuff like that in the journey through Yomi, I guess. I called it Journey to Yomi rather. And man, I enjoyed it. And right now I moved on to Elden Chronicles, and I'm always, of course, always playing some Halo. So you'll always find me on there. We had a good session the other day, by the way, Ham. So man, I
There you
always
go.
love Halo. We have our community nights, J Rock us and all of us, and link up on Saturdays and such like that. And that's really it for me now, man. I have so much in my backlog. That's why I always get confused when people say there's no games to play. I'm like, really? Like I have tons, and I'm not joking. Like
Oh yeah.
seriously. So yeah, that's it for me right now, and I'm trying to find something else to get into beside Elden Chronicles, and yeah. But what about you guys?
Okay, I'm gonna
Man.
go. I'm gonna dish it off to Matt because he seems pretty eager.
Fallout 3. I've never played. Yeah, I've never played Fallout 3 before,
So
so
jealous
it's
of
my
that.
first time. This is my first time ever playing Fallout 3, and it's incredible. I've
So
just wrapped up the main story. I started the Pit DLC. I think I just finished the Pit DLC like right before the show started, and then I got a few more DLCs, and then I'm off to New Vegas. But really, on a Bethesda kick right now. On a Bethesda kick right now.
I'm so jealous, man. I just remember when
Right.
I saw that teaser trailer when I was a kid, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck this game series is, but I need this. I got it for my 360. It ran at 10 FPS, but I didn't care. uh,
Yeah,
ran at
I
10
missed out on
FPS, 7 barely 720p, probably 480p upscaled or some shit, but
Right.
I didn't care.
probably, yeah. I missed out on all that because, like, at that time, all I played was Halo. I just
Yeah.
played Halo 3 and Call of Duty.
Bot. Sorry.
So
You,
pretty
you,
much,
you pick great
I
games at the
was a
time,
bot.
though. Yeah, at least at the time you picked great game. I love Halo 3. It's probably my top
Oh,
favorite of
Halo
all
3
time.
was fantastic, man.
Yeah.
It
So
was
you,
so
you you
good.
didn't waste it on like trash games at least. So,
No,
Yeah.
but
no,
imagine
definitely
them
not.
doing like Fallout 3 or Oblivion in Unreal Engine 5 though. Like, can you
Oh
imagine
my
them?
dude, someone needs to make this happen. Anybody. It doesn't even
Please,
need to be first party. It could be commission someone to do it, please,
I
Microsoft.
swear, I would love
Yeah.
it.
That'd be cool.
Anyone. I'd love that, man. I would love that. But what's going on with you, Mike? What have you been
Um,
playing?
I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4, and I definitely like it
Ooh.
but more than I did originally. It's pretty fun. I still have
Yeah.
I'm more of affinity for Fallout 3 because I feel like that felt like more of a dying world compared to the Commonwealth, and Fallout 4 is much more of a world being reborn and kind of thriving in some ways, which isn't like a really a hit against the game. It's more of like a personal preference. I really love how Fallout 3 nailed the humanity is fucked. Every remaining bit of humanity is fucked. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
You're all
And
right.
I really like that a lot. I'm a very big fan of that type of feeling, which is probably one of the reasons why I just love it so much. But
That's
also, I've been revisiting probably right up there with Doom Eternal, one of the best in my opinion, and most actually probably one of the most important video games of all time, Half-Life 2.
oh
I
nice.
I absolutely love Half-Life. I love almost every game Valve makes, and
Where are you
but
playing that? Or
I'm
is
playing
that
it. Oh, go on.
on
Sorry.
Xbox? Are you
Yeah,
playing that on Xbox?
I bought it through the
By the
Xbox.
orange box?
Yeah, to buy the orange box. I bought it through the
Gotcha.
Xbox 360's webpage. You can't buy it off the Xbox store itself. You have to go to the Xbox 360 webpage online to buy
So
it.
through the emulator.
Pardon?
Through that 360 emulator?
No, no, no. There's like you can like if you look up Orange Box, buy it. It brings you to the 360 website.
Oh, okay, I
Y-
know what you
y-
mean. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So uh, that's how I bought it, and it's such a good game. I don't even care that it runs at fucking at 30. They upscaled it to 4K through backwards compatibility. The game is gorgeous. The reflections in that game are somehow better than a lot of shit is today, and I don't know how Valve was that forward thinking with the Source engine, but I I I adore that game. I could go on about Half-Life 2 for a very long time, but it's not the Half-Life
Yeah.
2 podcast.
Huh,
Yeah,
I
that's
might get
all.
this.
Yeah, I really recommend it. Other than that, I really don't think I've been playing much else. Really just Fallout 4 and Half-Life 2.
Sounds good. What about you, Ham?
All right. So I guess I'll go. So I've been playing, you know, my usual just assortment of random games. But what I've been paying the most attention to lately is going to be um, Blake Griffin effect. I've been playing a little bit of that. So my
Oh
character in
god.
Mass Effect, apparently to a bunch of Hawaiian bros out there from the Talk Story podcast, think my character in Mass Effect looks like Blake Griffin. So they always
Well,
hopping into my chat whenever I'm streaming the game saying, "Oh, how's Blake Griffin doing today?"
catch any lobs?
You can't, yeah, catch any live. Maybe asking me some off the wall questions about Blake Griffin that I can't even answer. But I've been playing some of that. I've been streaming that, and I've also been playing, as you can see, this gameplay here. I've been playing some Zone of the Enders. That good old Kojima, good old Kojima.
Kojima classic.
Yeah, that's the one person that the game drain is following on Twitter is
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Funny
Hideo
enough,
Kojima.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's our only person that we're following on our
looks
Twitter.
just
Is
We'll
it
get him
was
to
literally
follow
just
back one
Hideo.
day.
it
Yeah,
was between Kojima or the dude at Double Fine. I forget his name, but it was
oh,
between him or him, and we picked
yeah,
Kojima.
uh,
Tim
Tom.
Schafer.
Yeah, Tim
Schafer.
Schafer. Tim Schafer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tim Schafer. Oh my goodness.
You just followed me, honestly.
Yeah,
It's just as good as Kojima.
One of these days, Kojima's gonna
True.
hit us back up, and he's gonna come onto the show, kick it.
He'll
with
be
us,
on the
and
podcast eventually.
Spurt, and he's gonna speak perfect English too when he's here. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
Of course.
And then for the most part, I've been playing Uncharted. Actually, I've been dipping back into some old school PlayStation roots because I never got to experience those games. I beat Uncharted 1. That was a fantastic game. Oh wow, Uncharted's actually popping up on the stream right now, which is nuts.
That's some good timing.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I beat Uncharted 1. That was a fantastic game. Not like the best game by any chance, by any means, but it was a really good game for the first one. I'm playing Uncharted 2. I'm literally 33% into that game, and it's way better. Like it's way better with the gunplay. It's way better with the scenes, like the cut scenes and everything like that. The action and just stuff that's constantly kind of going on to kind of trip you up is pretty cool.
You said you just started Uncharted 2, right? Or 3? Which one did you say?
2. I'm 33%
okay.
into because it tells you the
Fantastic game.
percentage of where you are each time you go to save it. So I always gotta check in and see where I'm at.
Masterpiece of the game.
Yeah, Uncharted 2 was the best in the series. That's not even a question. Part 2 was the best in the series, so I can see why you're enjoying it.
Okay.
Uncharted 2 was fantastic.
Yeah,
I enjoyed part 3 too. It wasn't as excellent because I don't know. I'll let Ham keep talking. But
it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as great. I think just 2 was just the best overall.
Yeah, I mean, from what I hear, it's like Mass Effect to a lot of people, where like 2 was the best, and the other ones aren't bad. It just ain't the best.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Part 1, of course. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair way of looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell what I've been playing. I've been playing some other things here and there, but I think those are not really need for mention because I haven't been playing enough of it. So I think we'll just move on from there. That was pretty good. Now Umbra, you can speak on it if you want. You don't have to, but we did our little trial run of a game, and this week it was Recore, and I can tell you, I'm gonna give you 2 excuses. One excuse of me not playing it that much is because I was kind of sick, pretty damn sick, and then the second reason is because I just don't really enjoy it that much.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you. It's not.
Right.
It's not a very enjoyable game.
So yeah, while I pull up Recore, I'm gonna have you going ahead and speak on it for me real quick, Matt, so I can get this pulled up. Go on ahead and tell us what you think of the game.
Okay, so Recore is a game that, like, it seems like it's a really good idea, I guess. It plays differently than most really any game that I would typically play, but I can see the appeal to some people. But it's, for me, the combat doesn't feel rewarding. Like the movement, which seems like it would be a pretty important part of that game, doesn't feel great.
Loud as soon as it pops. All right, you're good now. Continue.
All right. Yeah, I feel like the movement, which should be like a super important part of a game that requires you to dodge all the time, is just not that good. I mean, I guess like the best thing I could say about it is that it looks pretty good, on a 4K TV with I think it's 1x enhanced.
Yeah, it runs at 1440p.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, it for the size, for like the budget of I'm imagining that it had. It looks like a good game, but it's just not my thing, man. I thought I would like that a lot more than I did, and I'm kind of sad that I did.
All right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Mike? Let us know how you feel.
It's okay. I'm actually starting to have a bit more fun with it after the first mission. You get back to your like ship and you upgrade your. He's called Mac. It's like a robot dog. And then in the second mission, you get like a new blaster type, and you have to like so when there's like a blue enemy, you use your blue laser, and if there's a red one, you take out the weapon with the red laser, and it starts kind of flowing to me a little bit, and it kind of almost in the way reminds me. I'm not comparing it in the one-on-one, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Doom dance, as it's called, for Doom Eternal, where you're constantly switching your weapons for the correct enemy type at lightning speed, breakneck speed, ungodly speed. So it's so it in that way I appreciate it for that, but I'll probably keep playing it every once in a while because I really want to see if it'll really connect. Because right now I'm like, yeah, it's fun. I can see personally, I feel like so far from what I've played, it's a very much a 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5, which isn't mean it's bad. It just means average.
Yeah,
Um,
it's an average game.
so it's just one of those things. But I am enjoying it to a degree. Story is whatever. I just know that you got stranded there. I guess your father's trying to find you, or he's already dead, and you're like 200 years in the future. I have no idea what the hell's really going on, to be honest, because I was in a party chat with you guys, and I was just like, skip, 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 skip.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing like my movement for the paddles on my scuff because that's where the B button is instead of like, anyways. But yeah, so I just have no idea what's going on. All I know is she's lonely and she has a robot dog, and I'm killing things. That's all that really matters, really.
Yeah.
But it's average.
All right, I'm gonna take
It is
this real
very
quick.
average.
So, yeah, when I played this game, I thought it was kind of cool. I hopped in it at first, and I was like, all right, this is pretty fun. I'm running around killing stuff. I got a little companion, so it's pretty nice. The running is pretty nice. The jumping's great. The little boost, and then I stopped playing it, and then I hopped into Returnal, and I started
Ooh.
playing that game, and I was like, this is, and I know a lot of people said this similar thing, but this is just like Recore, except
Oh.
except Returnal. Just to me personally, I thought Returnal was just a lot more sharp, pretty, a
Yeah.
little bit more nasty, and that appealing of like being lost in the funk and grossness of the world that you're currently trying to escape.
Yeah.
But all in all, it was like it wasn't that great to me because I'm not into like those kind of games. I'm not into like roguelikes or anything where I have to like really redo stuff over and over, and eh, it just
Yeah.
it just isn't. It's just not my type of game, and it's not me bashing on either one of them. They're both on two totally different consoles. They're just not my type of games, and
Hey,
it
you
just is what it
Nintendo
is.
fanboy.
No,
Just kidding.
yeah, you reaching now. You reaching. Did you
I know
have
you
something to
play
say, Matt?
Pokemon
I
every
thought you.
night.
I thought you were about to hop on.
No, I was just gonna say like it's what you said how about how like it's not the kind of game you like. It's I feel kind of the same way. It's just a game that requires me to do tons like I feel like I should like it, but I just don't. A game that requires me to do tons of dodging of incoming projectiles. Like it feels like it goes back to like old arcade games or something. And I feel like I should like that, but for some reason it just doesn't translate. And on a new game in 3D, it doesn't feel the same as I'm playing in an arcade or something. It just I don't get that same feeling. It doesn't make me want to continue playing. It just feels kind of frustrating to me.
Yeah, and I do agree with what Doovy said in the chat. Like, the movement in the game is fantastic. It is. Have you ever played Returnal? The movement in that game is fan freaking tastic. That game,
I gotta
like,
try it.
right now, I think I might hop and try Returnal again just because it has a multiplayer aspect to it. I'm down to like die over and over if I can do it with some friends
I'll
and
be
go
down to
through
play it with
some.
you.
Like I'm
Absolutely.
usually. I don't know. It's just not my type of game. But like, if you give me an opportunity to play it with somebody else, and we can both experience that pain together, let's go.
You say
Yeah, if
sharing
you
is
want to,
caring,
man,
huh?
I'm up
Yeah,
for that.
sharing
'cause I
is
haven't
caring,
done one.
Infinite.
Sharing
Oh,
is
Absolutely.
caring. Remember that
I
PlayStation 4 commercial? Sharing is caring. Is that what you're
Right.
Oh
referencing?
Lord.
You know, my thoughts on Recore is, it's not a bad game. I think overall, the overall is like 7 point something for it. So I mean, that's not a bad score.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
do
not
want to go
it's
back
not a
to it.
terrible game.
Yeah, so I do want to go back to it and give it a full chance. I haven't given it enough of a chance. So now that we're discussing it, why not add that to my little back bangers and backlogs I call it for me. So I think I'll
There
add
you
that to
go.
that and try to get into that soon. Why not? But the thing I think that held it back too at the time, I don't know if you all remember, but it was not only 30 frames per second, but it wasn't
Yeah.
fully finished. So they had to do some things to fully finish that game back
Ooh.
then. I don't know if you all remember that.
No,
And
I
I don't
don't.
remember that. I
yeah,
don't remember that.
I just
yeah,
remember kind of launched and disappeared. That's all I really remember.
exactly. And now they have it. I think it's still unfinished in some ways, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a minute since I've looked into that. But I know they gave it a FPS boost, which doubled the
Yeah.
frames per second. So I think it might be even smoother now. So I have
Oh
to
yeah,
really
it's
give it
60
a
Oh,
chance.
frames
it's
now.
smooth. It's
It's
Exactly.
smooth
60
now.
frames.
Yeah, so I definitely want to give it a chance. I wouldn't write it off if anyone hasn't played it. Give it a chance to see for yourself. Like I said, anything in the 7 range, I'm never going to be like, yeah, don't play that. Yeah, it's a 7 point whatever. That's actually a good game. That means it's a good game. So I definitely want to give it a chance. So I'm glad you all brought that up. So I'm going to look into it again, and maybe I can give you all future thoughts on it or something like that in the future.
There you
When
go.
I get through it.
Man, that sounds good, man. Hopefully you enjoy it, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to keep pushing through, but right now it's just not hasn't clicked yet. So we'll see.
yeah, I definitely get it. But it's like one of those things. It's like one of those things that feels like it suffered back in the Xbox One days, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
like we just didn't have the budget given to these games where a little more time
Oh
and
yeah.
budget would have
That period of
really
Xbox was rough.
exactly.
It
Was
was
real
Because
very rough.
rough.
it's
Was
sad
real
too.
rough.
Because even with that being the case, we still had some gems back then. I mean, we had I love Rise Son of Rome. I'm a
Oh
major fan of that.
yes.
Some people like Rise. I love Rise
It's
Son of Rome rather,
fantastic.
and I would want them to make some type of sequel to it.
Please.
Obviously not with the same character because if you played it,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
they can spin off in different ways with that. So I mean, but it's one of those games. Even Quantum Break, all these games kind of
yeah.
suffered that Xbox One initial issue with the TV and all of that
Yeah.
where they
Yeah.
shouldn't have met the fate they met. They should have had sequels, but because Microsoft wasn't fully backing them then, and the negative reaction from the launch, or at least the announcement of the Xbox One, really hurt those titles, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely want to go back to it one day. And shout out to everybody in the
Absolutely.
chat, by the way. I see you guys.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
our chat is alive tonight.
See
I
him.
actually got to look at it. Oh,
Yeah, that's good. You should always be
It's
monitoring the chat because the
I'm
chat
saying my
always
phone's
saying some
better.
wild stuff.
Oh
Yeah, but
yeah,
I know
shit.
I know
Oh
you
my
can't
god,
even.
it's flying. What the fuck? One moment.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, it's nice to see y'all up in here. But now we're gonna
oh yeah.
move to the weekly breakdown, and man, there's a lot to kind of unfold here, isn't there? Um, First, though, I want to toss it over to Mike and see what kind of things have you seen in the news this week.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
feel like
this
this
was
is a
more.
softball throw right
No, no,
now.
for some reason, I thought I was gonna get asked a completely different question. One thing I thought was pretty cool. It's not huge news, but Microsoft might be apparently testing the waters to let us get our own animated backgrounds, which is pretty cool. Personally, I would just prefer them to make HDR work so my panel doesn't have to flick. But
Yeah.
or maybe fix the DVR, something like that. But but I mean, I guess making my own background's pretty cool. But I would really
It
like
is.
but I would really honestly like the D graphics. But yeah, I think that's cool. It gives us more options. It means we don't have to buy things. You don't have to keep going to Microsoft Edge to find a custom background or anything like that. You can just make it yourself. But there's some reports saying that it might also be a like for developers to make their own for people can buy and stuff. So no one really knows. But I just think that's pretty cool because it gives us more options regardless of if we can
Whatever
do it.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happens. Which
Yeah.
more options is never a bad thing, but we just gotta
Exactly.
wait and see. I just thought it was pretty cool, honestly.
I
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
that's pretty dope. That would be nice to see a little bit more customization and personalization to your own
Yeah.
Xbox. But what's up with you, Matt?
So I got two, both games, and it's The Witcher 3. They confirmed the next gen update is this year, So I think it's like quarter 4. So it's the end of the year, but it's actually coming this year, which is surprising because it was supposed to come in 2023. And then also one final thing, that Assassin's Creed Origins patch is, I guess it's rumored, because Ubisoft hasn't come out and said it, but it's like, I think the files are there for a patch on PlayStation next week, which leads everyone to assume that, next week PlayStation gets it, probably Xbox gets it the same week or the week after, whatever. But a
Xbox
next
isn't
gen
powerful
patch.
enough for it.
Yeah, sadly. But the next gen patch for Assassin's Creed Origins, which I'm excited for because I haven't played it yet. I bought it on Xbox with all the DLCs, and I can't wait to play that game because I loved Odyssey. Uh,
Sorry, go on. It's not really quiet for a second. That cracked me
it
up.
did get so quiet for a second, but
Oh
yeah, I
man.
loved Odyssey, and I was like wondering, first of all, are you guys even interested in Assassin's Creed Origins? Because I don't think Ham is.
No, I'm not. I haven't
No.
caught my way up enough in this. There's so many damn Assassin's Creeds too that it has me like nervous to even get started.
You're
That,
too
I-
far
dude,
behind, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I stopped at Unity. So, what was your last one,
Oh.
Ham?
what
Yeah, I
was
stopped
what?
at Unity. What was your last one that you stopped at? I was at Unity before I stopped for a while, so I got some catching up to do too.
I beat the first one
Right.
on my bro's PS3 like back when it came out. So this was way
It was back,
like
yeah.
a long time ago because this was back when HDMI cables were like $60.
Oh yeah.
Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
that long ago because I remember going out shopping, buying an HDMI just so he could bring his PlayStation over and plug it in because I had a 360 at the time. So and at the time I didn't have one that required an HDMI. I just had the with the composite ones or something like that.
Yeah. So that was only
Okay.
you only played through the first one then.
Yeah, I only played through the first one and then I bought Valhalla
Mhm.
and then got like 3 hours into it, and I was just like,
Dude,
No
I have
wonder
60
you
hours.
skipped.
Can I just say super quick? I
You
have
skipped from
60.
1 until like part 9 or something like that.
oh yeah. Well, I bought it because it was the first game that I bought with my PS5.
Yeah. Can I say
So
something
it was
super
just
quick
like
about
some.
Valhalla? Like
What's
real
up?
quick, because I have 60 hours on that game, and the main fucking story isn't over yet, and it's I just dropped it. I'm like, this is too much.
I heard it was
This-
crazy. I haven't
like,
played it yet. Yeah.
Like so
Dude,
many
the
of the
game-
quests could have been side quests, and the game would have been actually like a masterpiece if they just did that. But no, you have to do everything.
It's
And
like a
it's just-
150-hour game. It's
Oh.
insane. It's
And-
not fun to me.
The thing is, dude, they could have like made it so you could have just done the main story stuff, might be 20, 30 hours, and then have a ton of side quests, side
Yeah.
content. But they're like, nope, you have to go do this mission where you're pretending to be a Halloween creature in this weird, stupid little town. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? It was ridiculous. And so after I completed that, like, I'm done. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. I
Well,
think I
well,
do
for
want to get
me-
to that. I was going to say, Ham, though, for you definitely, in my opinion, brother, you got to get to part 2. Part 2 and Brotherhood at the very least, because I think part 2 is one of the best in the series.
They've been
still.
boosted.
Absolutely. Just story wise, it's just one of the best for Ezio. And then
You
for
said
me,
they've been
my-
boosted.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the collection's been boosted.
Oh,
And
I
then,
didn't
of
know
course,
that because I
we
own
have-
a bunch of them. I just don't. I just haven't dove into them because
Oh, so
I'll
you
get
got 'em,
it.
though.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I have a lot of them purchased, and I have a lot of them through game sharing, and I
Right.
have a couple hard copies back there.
It's the Ezio collection that got boosted, by the way. I'm pretty
But
sure it's the
Okay.
Ezio collection.
you have to have collection to have it boosted.
Yeah, I'm you not the 360 copies. You need like whatever they released on the Xbox One.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe then maybe only the ones I have digitally are good. But I don't know. What I really noticed that I didn't really enjoy at first was like not having like so many buildings around. It was like, oh, everything's just so spread out and so far apart. Like I remember just running on top of buildings all the time, and to me that was super dope about
Oh, yeah.
Assassin's Creed back in the day. So I hop into Valhalla, and it's like, man, it's like
Just a
just
bunch of
yes.
trees. There's a bunch of trees
Yeah,
and
yeah,
snow.
just a bunch of trees and water and like I watched the gameplay of it, and that's what made me want to buy it. And I was like, man, this is dope. And this seems
Those
pretty
moments are
dope.
so
Yeah.
far few in between. It's ridiculous. Like, and that's my favorite part is like the Viking raids, and you have like 10. It's like, yeah.
Viking
So
Raids was dope on that game.
That was
I
so
looked
fun.
I looked it up to be sure, by the way. So it says one of the biggest benefactors of the FPS boost that came out with the 74 games they released for the FPS boost was
Yeah.
the Assassin's Creed franchise, which now has 6 games enabled at 60 frames per second for both X and S, including Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, Rogue Remastered, Assassin's Creed Unity, and 3 games included in the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection. So
Wait, Assassin's Creed Rogue got FPS? Oh, dude, I need to buy that shit then because I've always wanted
yeah,
to play that. Fuck. All
I
right.
played through that. That was pretty good.
Okay.
By the way, Black Flag was my favorite in the series. So
Black
that's
I
how
Flag,
haven't played Black
love.
Flag. I
masterpiece.
need to play it. I'm
I
gonna play
You
loved
that.
you
it.
have to, Matt. It is
Yeah,
so good.
damn
Rogue
good.
is kind of like a DLC when you think about
It
it. Because I
is.
played,
It is. That's exactly what it felt like.
yeah,
DLC to Black Flag to me,
yeah,
honestly, or to maybe
Okay.
to Part 3, I guess, to a degree.
yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. So if you get a chance, absolutely try to play through Part 2 and Brotherhood, and you'll see where you lie with that. But I think those are like essentials that you have to play at least Part 2.
Got it. Got it.
Right. I
All
might do
right,
this
and
too.
then as for some as for some kind of news that's been hopping around my ears as of lately, especially on like the last couple shows I've been on, we talked about it. But I really want to kind of hear your guys' thoughts and what you guys think about this whole EA situation right now.
Oh,
With EA talking about, you know, being okay with getting purchased.
I'm sure they are.
I thought at first, hey man, like maybe Disney might make that step in that I want them to make to take over, like, and have like EA Sports maybe with it, because you know how they own like ESPN, right?
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that might work out, but from what I heard, Disney pulled out from wanting to
Oh, did they?
purchase. Yeah, from what I heard, from what I heard, they pulled out from wanting to purchase them, at least initially, and now other people
Okay.
are interested in it. So I want to see what you guys kind of think about that. And the first person I want to ask about that is Umbra. What you think about this whole EA situation? Are you wanting them to be purchased by any of, like PlayStation, Xbox, a good old Stadia, or do you want like
Yeah.
something like a 10 cent, or do you want something like a 10 cent to get them, Embracer,
Tencent is
what do you
automatically eliminated. I have no.
think?
Yeah, they already eliminated. Before you even finished that, I was like, nope. Yeah, nobody wants Tencent. You know, the whole
Team
government
player
control.
defeated.
Yeah, nobody wants that. But
No.
we had a thought. I had a thought about
Benson
this.
wants it. Just kidding. Sorry, go on.
Right. No, well, we had a thought about this, man, and I appeared on Mav's, Fun Speculation show this past weekend. We were talking about it, and for me, I think it comes down to the top 4 because Microsoft won't be involved, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I feel kind of salty. I won't lie to you, because I'm like, I like, yeah, ABK. Okay, we get Call of Duty, BA, but I've never been the biggest Call of Duty fan outside of the old ones, Modern Warfare,
Yeah.
whatever. I lost the touch of them after a minute. And then they got other titles. Of course, I'm hyped for that. Don't get me wrong, and I know it's going to turn out to be major. But then I look at what we could have possibly got with that price, and then I look at what's missing out now with like other studios being acquired or publishers being acquired while they have to go through this litigation or whatever with the FTC.
I see
So
that. I
yeah,
get
so
that.
it's kind of, yeah, it's like so
Yeah.
because like the WB game situation, like what if somebody come and
Heavy
snatch up
stretch.
WB games? I'll be mad if somebody comes and grab WB games and Microsoft can't do anything because
Oh,
of this.
dude.
You know what I mean? So for
Yeah.
me, I
Yeah,
think I
they're
see
really in a bind. You're right.
they are, and I feel like because of this, they're already eliminated from this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sony doesn't have, I don't think, the capital to acquire them like this right now. because they're worth over 30 billion. So
If you want that, you're gonna have to start having $100 bangers. No longer
absolutely.
70.
Exactly. The bad part is, Mike,
Experience
I
greatness.
think that exactly. I think the PlayStation gamers would probably like justify doing it. Oh, we could do that. That's
fine.
nothing. 100. You broke
God.
gamers. That's the problem. We can afford this.
Oh, hell
PlayStation
no.
greatness.
Oh god.
But yeah, but I think because of that, those two are eliminated. So then we have Amazon, we have
Oh.
uh, Disney, we have
Apple.
uh, Apple, and
Yeah.
there's one more.
Ford. Just kidding.
One more.
You know what?
Chevy.
I think Embracer, maybe. But then
Yeah.
if they did it, like, can you argue against Monopoly again for them? Like, because nobody ever threw that label at them for that. But so
Yeah.
my thinking would come down to Disney because EA has an issue with licensing where I think that's what some people have problems with them because
You
it's
think
like
Disney's gonna hop back in after taking a step back away from that idea?
that's one of my questions for it too. It's like, would Disney want to get into the gaming like that? But seeing how gaming is such a major money maker nowadays, maybe
Well, Disney's
Disney wants to get
already in gaming a little bit. They're just not
that's
like
true.
they just don't
major
have like
player.
a they just don't have like they're not 10 toes down. I'd say they're like 3 or 4. You know what I
True.
mean? They're
Yeah.
just not completely in on it right now.
That's true. But I think like if they wanted to, right? Disney has the
Oh,
capital.
if Disney wanted to, they
Yeah,
could damn near
definitely.
buy that, buy a couple
everything.
another thing, and freaking
Dude.
create a console and just tell everybody to shut the hell
Absolutely.
up.
So
They
think
could.
about it.
They
So
probably get
my
someone
logic-
assassinated trying to close the deal down. Really,
I mean,
like-
we're already seeing what's happening to Netflix. Netflix was thought they was tough.
Right.
Disney Plus
Bushido
came out
said-
here and said, "Give me my content
There
back."
you go.
You know,
let me
do you
get
see
that
the
off- let me get
comment
that
here
off.
that says PlayStation could hold a fundraiser or a
I
GoFundMe?
was just gonna say that.
Bushido being messy in
Bushido
the
was a nut.
chat.
But I would say because of Disney, and the reason why I tie it to Disney is because EA is exceptionally good with their studios at working on licensed games, right? So imagine the Disney already had deals with EA. So imagine them acquiring them now, and those licenses go all to them. They don't have to go through anybody else. They just have them all through EA. EA Studios, Respawn. Respawn is working on a few Disney games right now. So
Yep.
that makes the most logical sense that Disney would be the major player. Apple makes a lot of sense as well, and Amazon, of course. So that's why I think Amazon was the one I was it Amazon or Apple I missed to forget. I forgot, but either of them makes sense for respective reasons. Amazon less so now because of the whole Stadia situation. To me, I think it falls to Apple or Disney, and Disney to me would be the best overall. I would hope for because again, they can get those games, the licenses put out through EA Studios, and those at least games would still come multi-plat at the very least.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering how they're going to restructure their kind of sports division right now because they're losing the contract with FIFA. Like that's
Right.
gone.
Right. Yeah.
And then the NFL contract only has a couple more years on it. I wonder how that's gonna be structured down the line. They already lost lots of other sports that they used to produce back in the day, like baseball and
Oh, yeah.
like what a basketball was a big one. Oh my goodness, live was dope back in the day, but it
Fell
was
off.
rough. It fell off hard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
really
It
hard.
really did. Right off a cliff.
It was too bad too because it was I loved it so much growing up.
Same here, man.
And they had great college football games, college basketball games were dope back in the day. Like EA just fell off sports wise, bro. They did, and it seems like
off in general, really. When
So
you
it's
think about it.
nowadays it's
Yeah.
EA Sports. It's a shame.
It's a yes.
That just popped in my head.
Oh my
That just-
god, I love
Yeah,
that. That
that's
was
a little
the-
something I threw out there for you
It's
fellas.
true,
It
though.
came to my head just now.
Oh man, yes. That was the best. Because
It's so true.
I am somebody that really kind of despises EA more or less because I loved them so much growing up. One of my favorite games of all time, Road Rash. Loved it so much. EA was a
classic.
big hand in that game. Man, like just to see how many great, IPs they just lost within
EA
their
kills
time.
everything. That's why I
Yeah,
can't stand them.
dude,
They really kill everything.
it's hard to watch. So yeah, I better
Like
move
the
on because
Pandemic.
I could sit here and bitch and moan about EA for a long time.
They killed my beloved Pandemic Studios.
Oh yeah.
They gave me the Saboteur. All right, sorry.
Wasn't it another one? It was another studio too. That
Oh,
they
they've
got rid
killed
of.
so many, dude, that it's like
Yeah.
insane. Like there used to be a meme like back in 2010 where it'd be like a bunch of dead bodies in a pit, and it just shows EA holding a gun, and there's a bunch of studio names on it. If I can find it, I'll send it. But it's still true. They're still killing companies, dude. They're still fucking killing
I mean,
them.
not that long ago, Titanfall was a banger, right? And that just disappeared. That just disappeared.
Which is so ironic considering the fact that Respawn is the only thing that's keeping EA like they're the only studio doing anything at EA. I mean, BioWare, hopefully the next Mass Effect is good. We'll see about Dragon Age, but it's like outside of those studios, it's just Respawn. It's really just Respawn.
That
You don't think
Apex
Battlefield
money.
2042 is an absolute banger?
They getting that
Oh,
Apex
God.
money. But
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, Apex. I forgot they made Apex.
What about you guys though? What's your thoughts on that as far as where you think EA would go if they were sold off?
I'm gonna go first. I wanted them to
All
kind
right.
of get broke down to divisions. So like EA Sports goes somewhere where it belongs. BioWare goes to Xbox. Respawn goes to like
Matt like that idea. Sorry, go on.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Matt got really excited when he said.
Keep preaching. Keep preaching.
Keep going.
Like Respawn goes to like some third party kind of group like Embracer or something like that.
Xbox.
I'm thinking third party for Respawn because they're not going to want to take Apex and just make it
for sure.
and just make it first party on a different console and then have to deal with sharing all that stuff. I just don't see that. I mean, I just kind of like the idea of like kind of what Square Enix did with all of a good amount of their like what they did with their Western studios, just kind of get rid of some of them and then maybe try to figure something out in house to make your name look good again.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
Remember online passes? How much they pushed that in like
oh my God, dude.
late Xbox 360. I remember fucking every game they published. Like you'd have like the most mundane, simple multiplayer component. Like here's a $10. You have to buy this $10 thing that you can play it online. Then I remember that Battlefield 3 and I can't remember Battlefield Bad Company.
Dead Space 3 also has it.
Of Sensei's comment, he said EA survived long enough to grow into a villain.
He's not wrong. Real quick, that really pisses me off about EA. They there's some great 360 games that they shut down their servers for like a year after they came out, and I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with you guys?
Nobody gives up on a project quite like EA, except maybe Ubisoft
or
Ubisoft
Google. Google, like anything Google touches that comes to video game, actually, really anything outside of YouTube is dead. They kill everything they touch.
I feel like dies. I feel like that Battlefield blunder really screwed up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, it must have. It must have.
That just ruined a lot of what they would call momentum that they thought they might have had was all just killed. Yeah. And then they tried to remember they tried to blame it on Halo. They tried to blame it on Halo.
It's Halo's fault that our game isn't good.
The unfinished Halo game, mind you. The unfinished Halo game.
The Halo game with the least content ever, it's their fault. Like Halo's a great game. It plays fantastic. But it's not Halo's fault that your game isn't good. It's your fault. It's your fault, really.
I mean, in reality, they're lucky Halo came out in the state that it was in, because if Halo came out in full effect, they might have been real salty.
If they launched Halo with Forge co-op and like 15, 16 maps, dude, nobody would ever talk about Battlefield. I mean, nobody does anyway, but it's like,
right.
Really, like, it'd be done. It'd be done.
Yeah.
But like, I want to quickly add, if I had to pick a company to go for EA, I I mean, just because it's already happened to the two studios I wanted Xbox to get recently, I'd say Embracer, simply for the fact that it probably almost certainly remains third party. And maybe, I mean, because Embracer seems really excited about bringing back, or they're saying all the right words on like bringing back old IP. So that could all just be a show. I don't know yet, but I mean, between Apple, Amazon, um, who else? I forget. There's like Disney, and then Embracer. I'd go Embracer. I mean, Dream would be Microsoft, but that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen right now. But
Mm.
Embracer.
So why do you feel Embracer, Matt? What's your thinking
Because
for that?
I feel like I said, they're giving really good service. Like they're saying all the right things about whenever they acquired Crystal and Eidos. They said they brought up Deus Ex, they brought up Tomb Raider. They're talking like, okay, we want to revive these IPs, we want to do them right. And like I said, that could all just be lip service. That could just be them saying the right things to make them not seem so shady. But if it's true, then I would definitely like because if that's the case, then maybe they acquire EA and maybe we get Titanfall. Maybe they do something about it. I just want somebody to acquire them that will do anything about Titanfall. Personally, my own selfish reasons, because I think Titanfall is one of the best FPS games ever made. Titanfall 2, but it's just kind of sitting there, and they keep saying, yeah, Titanfall 3 is coming, but it's like, is it really?
Yeah.
And when? Because Respawn's working on like 6 Star Wars games. So when
And
is Titanfall coming?
the disrespect you have for 2, where you can't even really like keep up with the game, but wait for it, we can take a character out of Titanfall and put it in Apex for you. How about that?
Yeah, you enjoy that. There's your Titanfall. Play Apex.
There's your Titanfall.
Apex.
It's an
Looks like
Apex.
the cosmetic.
I just want someone. It doesn't even need, like, to be fair, it doesn't even need
Oh,
to be
bro.
Embracer. It could be any of those 4 companies. I just
Dude,
want
I
someone
want
who's
Nintendo to buy them and just put that shit on the Switch at 480p at 28 frames a second. Let's go.
they've already got Apex on there for
They
some
do?
reason.
Oh yeah, they do. And that runs like shit.
It runs horribly on there. But yeah, just bring back some old IPs. That's all I want. And I want, BioWare to be BioWare again. I want a lot of things, but we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if any of these people got them, except maybe Apple. I wouldn't love that. But I mean, ideally, I guess Embracer or Disney, But we'll see.
All right, all right, all right. Well, Umbra, do you have any news that you'd like to share before we move on to the next thing?
Can I give my take on it real quick? Just to say.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
EA
My bad.
needs to go in the trash can. That's it. All right, go. That's it.
God damn. All right. Well, that was.
Needs to freaking acquire them. Just
Yep.
give off EA and BioWare. Let the freaking company die, man. I can't stand them. It's done.
Let's go.
No one can save that. Dude, they've been killing games and like making. Oh, dude, don't even get. Oh my god, I'll be ranting for the next half hour. Fuck them. That's
All
it.
right.
Fuck them.
All right.
That's my take. That is
So-
my take. That's Michael's official take. Fuck them. That's
That
it.
was pretty
Sure.
damn official. Nobody said it better than you right there. Umbra, you got anything for us?
Nothing else really on that subject, I suppose. I think though, Matt, I think as it stands now, with Apex being the way the moneymaker it is for EA and everything
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, they're going to have a Titanfall 3 eventually. I think,
I
and you
hope
see
so,
that
man.
they took the guy from the studios over Respawn to help with Battlefield. You know,
Yep.
I think more than
Vince.
likely, yeah, they're going to do something with that. I think they have the leverage to get EA to do what they want as far as supporting it and funding it anyway. So I think it's just a matter of time. Hell, we might see something
Yeah.
this summer about it announced. You know what I mean? So
Dude,
we'll see.
if that's the case, I'd be so happy. It's just I feel
Yeah.
like, they like the servers have been screwed for Titanfall since it launched almost.
We like
And they
address
just
what's
don't.
going on in the chat. Oh, sorry. After you, Matt, then I'll say it. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge it at all, and it's kind of disheartening because I really did enjoy that game. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe they turn it around and everyone's happy. I would love that. I would love that.
What on earth is going on in our chat right now? I have no idea what these people are talking about. Something about being mean to one another. I don't know what's going on in there. They're fighting. There's some drama right now.
We have if you all didn't know, we have a stray stallion inside of the chat, and she's naturally clashing against our resident robot bots, if
I'm
you
sorry
will.
for your affliction. I
Oh,
wish you well.
that's cool. I hope I hope that person's having a fantastic time.
I
You're more
don't.
than
I'm just
welcome
kidding.
to enjoy. You're more than welcome to enjoy the show. But
No,
yeah.
I'm an appreciator of greatness from time to time myself. So enjoy.
Thank you for being here. But if you piss off anybody in my chat, I'm gonna get rid of you.
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
We'll do that. I don't care though. Like talk your stuff, but just keep, but as long as
They're
you don't
being
get
cool. They're
personal
not
with it, I
causing
really
drama.
don't care.
They're just being funny.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
being
Yeah.
funny.
yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I thought when I was reading it. But I don't know. Umbra
I'll
about
be right
turned
back
me
in a
up
minute,
a little
guys.
bit.
You know, right? Be right back in just a minute. Sam,
All right, Mike.
I have to be right back. Sorry, guys.
No, you're
Right.
good.
Almost turned you against her, huh?
Oh man, you almost man. I was shrugging my shoulders a little bit. I was just like, "What's going on? Who's he talking about?" And I was like, "Wait a second, he talking about a female? Like, why am I shrugging my shoulders? What's really going on?" Like, I'm just confused.
Had to give her a hard time. You know, sometimes I go into the spaces with her as co-host, and they give me a hard time. So just have to repay the favor. You know.
Cool. Well, good, good. Do you have anything that you would like to add for for the weekly though? You got any news that you wanted to bring up or bring to light?
Nothing that I can think of. I think the biggest news of the weekly we had was the EA situation.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that was the
Oh,
big
yeah.
news of the week. So I can't think of much else outside of that and the whole unsubscribe thing. We all touched on.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that here in a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
We
sure
will.
we will definitely get into that. We're we are gonna actually the next subject we actually needed Mike for. So and he
We
left, so that was fantastic. So we're just gonna hop over to the next thing, which is interesting because I'm actually gonna push this on to our guest instead of one of us making this making this smush happen. All right. So we have this little section that we call the game smush, where we put two games together, and I want you to kind of give me an idea of what it may come out and look like. So you, Umbra, I want you to take two games, no matter what games they are, put them together, and then tell us why you vision those two games working well together.
Hmm. Let's see. Let me
Take a
think.
breath if you got to. Take a breath.
Here we go.
Oh yeah,
I'm breathing deep.
Mhm.
he is breathing. He breathing too deep.
I brought too much oxygen to the head now, and I'm passing out. No, but hmm. I think if I'm going to be thinking about this, I'm going to be looking at it in the aspect of what Xbox needs, right? So for that reason, I'll look at something that's third person based,
Okay.
since they lack in third person over the shoulder kind of style
Yeah.
games. So let's say let's say Uncharted. In the style of
Ooh, yeah.
Uncharted, as far as over the shoulder, smooth action moving, and let me say Halo, and specifically Fireteam Osiris.
Okay.
Obviously, though, they would have their Spartan abilities, so they won't be
Yeah.
moving, as a human. They'd be moving much more ridiculous. But a third person action adventure, full Spartan abilities, kind of action RPG ish in a way where you can kind of build up the Spartan and, give them certain elements of RPG at least. Or I could have even said Horizon, like Zero Dawn, for that reason. Something like that, akin to that. Uh, but I think PlayStation just has the third person over the shoulder thing on lock. So no matter what I
Yeah.
said, it would have worked. So something like that, but with the Halo, with the Fire Team Osiris, and them trying to combat either the Flood or the Banished in some way. A new faction of the Banished or something like that. A spin off game. in third person action instead of first person. I think that could be something special. Yeah,
That'd
We
be
have a new
dude.
guest.
I'd be down to play that. Oh,
absolutely.
what's up, Mike?
We have a new guest that joined us. My cat.
Oh, your cat. I'd be down for that, man. I'd definitely play a third person Halo, dude. An RPG Halo doesn't even need to be third person. Just give me like kind of what you did with Infinite, where like there's upgrades and stuff, but make a full RPG out of it. And if you can make it third person and give me Spartan abilities and stuff like that, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you all remember, but Colt had shared it one time on his tweet. It was about Master Chief in third person. Like somebody had, I guess,
Oh
Yeah.
second
yeah,
person. You saw that?
yeah. You
Mm.
got
Uh,
a lot of flack for it too, which was
yeah,
kind of
yeah, he
weird.
did. But imagine that though. Imagine something like that, and you could see they had the movements down. It wasn't just a matter
Yeah,
of it being first person. Like they had the movements mapped. So imagine
yep.
something like that, but with a proper team. I don't know. Let's say I would say the coalition, but they have their hands full, right? But imagine somebody quality being put on something like that. Man, I could see only the possibilities for that. Yeah.
Dude, I want to see that. What you just said makes me interested. I want to see what they do with Indiana Jones machine. Like if Machine Games is doing a third person Indiana Jones, maybe they could do some. Maybe in the future they could do something third person Halo because
Mm,
Machine Games knows shoot like they're really good at shooters, and
yeah.
I'd be interested
Side
to see how
scroller.
that. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that translates to like Halo, like a Machine Games Halo, because they got a lot of really cool elements in their games. Like humor, violence is like a huge part of their games. The character is always great. I
I'm
would
wondering.
love that.
I'm
I
wondering if
would
they're
love
going to
it.
be third person still for Indiana Jones or first
That's
person.
that's why I'm because everyone seems to think it's third person, and I'm like of the opinion I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it and it was first person.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
kind of
that'd actually be
torn.
pretty dope.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's
I
gonna be a
kind of do
side
too.
scroller.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh Lord.
it's gonna be a sprite game.
That'd be
It's gonna be
funny.
a
It's gonna be a
it's
two
gonna
D
be a strategy game.
a 2D sprite game.
2D
Oh
sprite
my
strategy game.
oh my god.
That's
Exclusive on
funny.
the
I'm
Wii U.
trying to remember. Was there an Indiana Jones for like the Sega that just had the
It was
whip,
the
Oh
Super
yeah.
the
Nintendo and
whip and the
such.
electricity thing, or
Oh,
was
wait a
that,
minute.
or
Talking about the
or
side
no
scroller or
no no?
what?
I think I'm thinking of Jurassic Park.
Okay, because I was going to say if you're talking about the side scroller, at the time they had not only did they have LucasArts not have the Indiana Jones games, they had Star Wars games back on the Super Nintendo.
Hmm.
Yep. I have
Loved them,
a lot of those Star Wars games somewhere.
loved them. And back
Nice.
then they had the whole, the sound effects for what's his name, Sean Connery. We've lost him, Indy. Oh no, Super Nintendo, and it's like, we've lost him. Yes,
Oh my god, yeah.
yes, Indy. So yeah, I can imagine them having something like that. Xbox fans will revolt if it was 2D.
It would be
Can
that
you
wouldn't go
imagine?
that would not go over well.
Yes.
That
I
would not
hope
go
it's
over
a
well at all.
I hope
I
it's a
send it back.
2D story banger. I just
Right,
hope there's not even any gunplay. I just want story, and you can only play it with the dual sense. That's what I want on
right,
an
I wanna
Xbox. On
I
an
wanna
man.
cry
Xbox.
a lot. I wanna cry a lot.
Matt likes crying.
Lord.
Oh
All
my
right,
god.
so refresh Mike real quick, Umbra, on what two games that you put in to be put together.
So for me, Mike, it was a matter of a third-person action over adventure over the shoulder game, something that
Mhm.
Sony specializes in and Microsoft has a shortage of. So I would say something like an Uncharted or Horizon, whatever which one you want to put, and
Mhm.
but mixed in with a Halo. So Fireteam Osiris and spread something in a spin-off game for them in third-person action adventure form with RPG elements and all of that type of stuff that you can really delve
That's cool.
into. Yeah.
I could see that definitely working. It,
100%.
I got
I
a
could see that cool.
question though. Before you
Yeah.
continue doing this, is this gonna be like, like a pick your own story kind of like I'm creating a character kind of thing, or is this a pre-written kind of thing to where you're
I,
like saying because when you say RPG, and then when I think of some of these PlayStation games, I mean those don't all correlate. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like an RPG game is totally different than like the like a I don't know, let's say Horizon or something like that, right?
Right.
So are you saying something like Horizon where you're going to be like Chief and you're going through the story and maybe you can pick a couple things that will change the story? Or are you going to say like this is like extremely RPG and you're almost like customizing, making your own character to make your own story?
I would say something like along horizons where it's a horizon rather where it's I wouldn't necessarily say you have to have different endings, but you know, Halo, I guess you can keep the tradition of if you play it on Legendary, you get a special ending, right? But it wouldn't
Yeah.
be so dramatic in the RPG field where it's going to dramatically change what happens. I would just say keep it simple, give us a simple, strong narrative, strong story as far as that goes, good voice acting, great action, and the RPG elements would be something where they can go a little further. I look at it like kind of like Outriders. You know what I mean? How Outriders had powers on there. Give us something
Yeah.
like that, and I think Gear should kind of go that way too. Personally, seeing how they
Oh,
gave us a little
dude.
bit of that. Yeah, they gave a
Yeah.
little bit of that element in Gears 5. I think they
Yep.
can naturally go further with it if they let years go by, like a generation go by, and the new characters are introduced or something like that.
You want to know what
And
kind of Halo game should be made?
what's that?
Side scroll, a side scrolling to sprite
What's
based.
the side scrolling a lot? I think Mike is secretly trying to turn Xbox fans against Microsoft.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I
That's
want
what it sounds
everything
like.
just to be 2D
I
bangers.
see.
Hey, you only can play with the dual sense. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Continue.
You
Sorry.
sure don't. Oh man.
I don't know. If I'm hanging out with you, and I spilled water on myself, this is a sad day. I get for hanging out with you guys. All right, go on. Sorry.
No, but I think that just a strong narrative will be fine enough. I don't think it needs to be too strong in the RPG elements outside of giving us abilities and letting us pick through which one we want for a specific build
Yeah.
of our characters, and maybe have it co-op, have it not co-op, but online multiplayer, right? 4 players because of 4 teammates inside of Osiris,
Yeah.
and let us go wild. Give us a big open area to go through. That's why I mentioned Uncharted, but also maybe Horizon because it's big, right? So something major, open world in a way, or semi-open at least, where we can kind of split up and do our own thing and attack hordes of enemies and things like that. Kind of give us that little bit of that Dynasty Warriors esque feeling, a bit of something. I don't know.
That
I
would be
don't know
really
Yeah.
though.
cool because
Yeah.
I mean to be third person in a Halo game, I think would be really fun, especially if you made it like I mean kind of like what you're saying, being able to just like murk a bunch of things,
Hmm.
maybe have like a counter near it, but I'd also like it to like veer away from what's canon. I hate when people are just on the whole canon train all the time. Canon, canon, everything has to be
Yeah.
canon, canon, canon.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I just want a good ass story to be told. I want it to be fun to either watch or play. More to play than watch for sure.
Yep.
But but yeah, I would like to have some sort of Mass Effect, kind of like what you were saying earlier, a little bit. Feel to it where your choices are kind of the direction that your story goes. But it'd be kind of cool to do that in the sense of like multiplayer instead of just single player. So if you decide to do something multiplayer, it can affect your story later as if you would have did it like single player or
Can
something
I
like
address
that.
the chat real quick?
Like I think that would be kind of fun. But anyways, go ahead, Mike.
All right, everyone now wants to see my mittens again. So 1 second, let me just get the
Oh
dresser.
Lord.
1 minute. Wait a minute. Come here, mittens. Come on. Come on. Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me like that?
Mitch is like,
Matt's
look, I'm
just
not. I'm not
Matt's
here
just
for show
cracking
now.
up.
Why are you
Oh
looking at me?
my god.
Mitch's like, you think you're gonna just show me off?
Yeah, wait, she's coming.
Right.
Come on. Why are you looking at me like that? 1 moment. If I hide.
If you hide.
1 moment. You know what? Get up here. You're
Cameras,
getting up.
camera
Oh, she's
shy.
so cute though. I can't move my camera, guys, or I'd get disconnected. So I'd show you, but oh, she's so cute. Yeah, come here.
He'll come back.
All right, she'll come back. Once I stop paying attention to her, she'll come running back.
Yeah. That's
Well,
how
anyways,
cats
it's
are.
your turn to go, anyways, Mike, because the the next subject was supposed to be the last time that we're doing this subject, which is the cage match.
Oh, yep.
So please take us forward and let us know who's fighting today. And by the way, like I said, this is the last time we're doing this subject. We're just gonna make some new ones, or I don't know. We're just trying to keep the time to fair pace, and we're already at an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so go ahead, Mike, and let us know what.
So I basically just picked two characters from two video games I really much love. The two games are Republic Commando and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. It is Bishop versus 1138, also known as Boss, also known as Delta Lead. I love that. I love Republic Commando so much. And I was just a simple verse between the two of them because they are both squad-based shooters, and how they handle situations are very much different from one another. So, am I allowed to say who I think wins, or I have to let you guys go first? Isn't it how it
Well,
goes?
I already know who I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
but
I feel like I'll just say who I personally
yeah,
think, just because of, well, simply their armor and their weapons and the combat situations they've also been through. You have to really just say Delta Squad. How the hell can you compete against a bunch of clones that are directly cloned from a psychopath bounty hunter? Like, it's like you can't really compete with
yeah,
that. Um,
I
but yeah,
yeah, I
that
definitely say 1138 wins that.
yeah, and like his
Definitely.
armor can take a ton of they're meant, it's like designed to like take physical. Actually, to be honest with you, that's the one thing that Bishop kind of has maybe an advantage of, because it's actually not as absorbent. It's more meant for blaster fire, because there's a scene in the game where they get surprised as they fight Trandoshans that have use projectile weapons, and it cuts right through their shield. So that's something Bishop could have, maybe if he gets a good sniping point. But 1138 once again is the brains of the operation, so I'd have to give it to him.
Yeah, I go with 1138. Definitely.
Anything for you?
I don't think I know enough about these characters to really give a full opinion. So the idea of this is the cage match, you call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So these two characters are pitted against each other, and you're saying we have to come up to with a reasoning for why who would win.
Right.
Yeah.
So so it's Bishop, you say, and who else, Mike?
1138.
And 1138 is from, you're talking about from
Star Wars Republic Commando.
okay. I see. Yeah, I would probably side with the 1138 too.
I
Yeah.
don't even think.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I don't think it's even fair.
Yeah, it's it's
It
it's
really
it's
isn't.
it's not.
I
It's
don't
not.
even think
Because,
this
dude,
is a fair fight.
because
Like, you got a
their
you got a guy
blasters.
in what feels like he's an American man, and then you got you got like some dude in space. You got some dude in space that's been conquering planets.
The
This
thing is,
guy's
his
from the
blaster
future.
rifle too, right? His blaster rifle, it can turn into a sniper rifle with a simple attachment, turns into a grenade launcher. It's fucking insane. It
Yeah,
does
that's
everything.
not fair. That's
Maybe.
not fair.
Like, I
That's an
love him.
easy win.
That
That's an
reminded me
easy
of
one.
South Park when you did that, Ham.
Yeah,
Alabama man.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Crazy wacky action bike, the bike that's hard to ride. Yeah, I remember all that joint.
The wife runs up to him and he hits him with a bowling ball.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama man.
Oh, I love that commercial. I thought that was so great.
Yeah.
What a fantastic show.
You American, very big penis.
What are we talking about right now?
Ken Pokemon.
Yeah,
Man, that was it.
Oh
Man.
my god.
that joint was too much. But let's move on to the next thing. Sorry, Bishop, you got wrecked.
Oh yeah, Bishop. That's too bad.
But take of
Your
the
game's
week now.
fantastic, though.
Take of the week now. We got about 15 minutes left just to kind of give the panel a heads up.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of keep this on a tight ship today because I do want to respect Umbra's time. So let's go on ahead and get into it. Takes of the week. So we've all heard a bunch of crazy stuff throughout the week. I'm gonna go straight to our guest today. What is the most interesting take of the week? And I feel like I know, but
Oh man.
let me know if I
So
don't.
so many things out there, but the biggest was this whole unsubscribe to Game Pass movement. I guess led
Yeah.
by the illustrious Tay Kim from formerly of
Is
Bloomberg.
that who it's led by?
He's one of them. Uh,
Oh
uh,
my
af-
god.
After I saw him, and I believe Gene Park and a
First person
few
I seen
others.
say it was Fonz.
Yeah, fun. Oh, Fonz even said it.
Yeah, he said it. He
Oh
said it
wow,
first, man.
wow. I'm
He
a little
said it
shocked. But
way
you know what?
before anybody did.
Fonz is particularly unforgiving when it comes
Oh,
to
he's
Microsoft making
honest.
those. Yeah, he's very honest
He's
and
very honest.
very unforgiving when it comes to them making so many mistakes still at this point. So
Yeah.
I get it from him, and I think that I had a big space about it earlier, right? Good amount of people came through him. You were there to appreciate it, uh, and basically it came down to people now announcing that they're going to be making plans to unsubscribe. I'm unsubscribed to Game Pass. I'm unsubscribing. That was the biggest news that I had, I guess in the Twitterverse today.
Oh yeah. It's
hmm
it's so because that's also was gonna be mine. Because but I figured somebody was gonna bring that up. But I just thought it was so because we talked about it. It's like I would never get on Twitter and be like, "Hey guys, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription."
Exactly.
Because who cares? They don't care. It's like, but yeah, you're within your right to cancel it if you feel the value is not there. Definitely, we cancel it. It's your money, but it's like don't need to tell me. It's not necessary. It just seems a little weird. It seems forced with how like all the people who are saying it. It seems just strangely forced, and I don't know. I don't understand it.
Can I
Mike?
give my take?
Oh, I forgot. I
Oh, my
agree.
take?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Straight to you.
yeah. So, I've been seeing this take all day saying, Microsoft really dropped the ball with not, because apparently they got offered to maybe make some Marvel games, and
Oh,
people were saying that, oh, they dropped the ball not doing it. They could have had their own Spider-Man. I'm like, and this is my honest opinion. Thank fucking God they didn't, dude. Like, and this come from someone that hasn't even played the new Spider-Man games because I just don't really care that much. When Microsoft was approached with these deals, I believe it was 2014, and that's when they were heading into their fucking dark ages. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's when they were full blown, like their best games when the Xbox One launched didn't come from Microsoft. They came from Insomniac, which is now owned by PlayStation, and Crytek. And if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, who made Dead Rising 3? And that was even kind of a dud. Like
that's
Microsoft didn't
Capcom.
Yeah.
realistically didn't, and this is coming from someone that like only really plays Xbox at this point. Like everyone's like, this is such a loss. I'm like, yeah, maybe for if you like only want to play on Xbox, but for really, if you want good,
Remember Lost World?
I fucking don't
Lost
even,
World.
what the hell's Lost World?
What is that?
My point. Continue.
Yeah. So so it's kind of also remember like Project Spark. It's like Microsoft at that time,
Oh
and
yeah.
Yeah, I
honestly,
remember
right
that.
now we're still kind of waiting for them to really prove themselves. But I mean, they kind of have, but we're really waiting for like this showcase. Really, it's kind of put up a
The consistency.
yeah, the consistency,
It's
and
like
just my
because
opinion.
yeah.
Gaming, we're lucky they didn't because I can only imagine what we could have gotten from the 2014, 2015 Microsoft, especially when they were starting to
Yeah.
cut budgets. Like, because yeah, I don't know. I think we kind of lucked out personally.
It's like
That's just my opinion though.
I feel like to add on quickly that I feel like in hindsight it kind of sucks they didn't take the deal, but at the time it's like why would you? It's like coalitions working on Gears, and outside of that, who's gonna make a game for Marvel? Because Marvel's gonna want some games. So
Yeah,
it's like I don't know who makes what at that time for Xbox.
and they were
So I
kind of
guess
starting to. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, so I guess now if that was offered to you, then absolutely
Yeah,
hop on that deal. But it's like back then,
no way.
why?
And the
Why?
thing is, they're trying to move away from the Crytek situation and Insomniac situation because they're kind of like, because this is actually an issue throughout all of Xbox. To be quick, they have a lot of games that I love on the original Xbox, that can't get sequels because they were using someone else's IP in someone else's studio.
Yep.
Like Mech Assault, for example, uses the Mech Warrior license and stuff like that. And I think they're trying to move away from that. And they're like, we don't have the studios to like possibly support this. And like I said, I just that whole like in between 2014, 2013 to 2017 Microsoft was not probably the best time to be owning the Marvel IP or whatever how that situation would have been. That's just my take.
Yeah, I agree with
but,
that.
but
And the game I was thinking of was Lost Planet, not World.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lost
Oh,
Planet's
Lost Planet. Yeah, I've heard of
the
that.
first one's okay. That's the only one I played though.
I figured it was Lost Planet when you said it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that and Jurassic Park mixed up.
Yeah.
What's your take, Cam?
You said Lost World, and I'm like, what the hell is Lost World?
Yeah, I totally got that mixed up. Thank you, Inferno, for straightening that up for me. But anyways,
Life, finds a way.
yeah, absolutely. So
they do have the studios. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike, please.
Oh no, I was reading the comments saying they have the studios to do it now. Yeah, but they didn't have them in 2014, and it would just be such a waste of potential.
Yeah,
and just the like Spider-Man, the whatever the one that came out in 2017 or 18, and Spider-Man Miles Morales are like considered incredible games, and I just really think I just genuinely think it probably was just for the best. Yeah, it sucks in hindsight, but like realistically, it's like I'd rather good video games exist in the world than just being on my platform. Personally.
So I got a question to this whole topic we were talking then.
Yeah.
Are you all satisfied with what Game Pass is offering right now and what you know is coming in the future?
I'm excited to play Sniper Elite 5 next week, so yeah.
with what is being offered right now, like at this very moment, I feel like this year, like they've had some stuff this year, but I feel like compared to last year, it's a step down. Obviously, Starfield and Redfall being delayed hurts. But for what's coming in the future, I mean, I can't remember the exact math. I did the math on this in my head like a year ago at this point. But it's like, Starfield, Redfall. I love RPG. I love RPGs.
Yep.
Especially Western RPGs, and they basically own the idea of Western RPG right now.
They're the house of the Western RPGs without question.
Exactly. It's like they've got me covered just on that. Plus, I love shooters. They've got me covered on shooters. They got me. They'll have action adventure. They got Hellblade. They got Indiana Jones, and that's just what we know about.
If they use it, they have the platformers. If they want to,
100%, they can bring.
They just need to show up right now. That's what we're waiting for. Exactly. For them to show the fuck up. And that's why June 12th needs to hurry up. Sorry, I didn't
exactly. Like, it's like I'm so excited for the future. I just think Starfield and Redfall being delayed kind of puts a little bit of a damper on this year, but it's like that can also be something that is rectified with the showcase. Maybe they have something to show us where it's like, okay, Starfield's not here, but this is pretty cool. We didn't expect this,
Yeah,
absolutely. So what about you, Ham? What do you think on it as far as what Game Pass offers you and has offered you, and we know what's coming in the future? What about you? Has it been worth it to you to have?
So I'm actually gonna kind of shift this a little bit, because I feel like what a lot of people are getting angry about is this whole, Starfield and Redfall delay. And I don't think they're looking at the bigger picture of what all Game Pass provides when they go to cancel their service or whatnot. So is Game Pass worth it to me, even with these delays? 100%, absolutely. I want to be able to cloud game. I want to be able to play online. I want to be able to, play the same games that my homeboys are playing, like NBA 2K22. Like, we can hop on that. And I mean, I don't recommend it because I've tried it, but you can, but no, slow down real quick. I don't recommend it, but you can try it with the whole streaming thing. You can try the streaming thing with NBA 2K22.
I thought you weren't feeling the game.
No, the game is cool. The game's a lot of fun. If anybody's been watching the show, you've probably seen it earlier when I had it posted, or I had like gameplay on it or whatnot, but the game's really fun. Like I have a good time playing. Like, it's mostly me, Matt, Bill the Gamer, and every once in a while somebody else will show up, and usually Mike's in the party just listening to us complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And just spacing out, like just like trying to figure out what the hell's happening.
Poor Mike.
Mike ain't really into those simulation sports.
Unless something's
games.
dying, I ain't playing it. That's basically my motto for everything. If something's not dying, I'm not playing it.
Hey, Mike, I remember you said you liked the bigs back in the day, though.
Well, that was fun because that game was violent, though. Like that game was actually really violent.
That was nuts.
Like,
So that's the catalyst. The catalyst for him is you got to be violent to each other.
Dude, like, remember him when like you'd like go like to like you're about to collide with like home base and you had to like smash the button and like
you had to beat the hell out of him.
And yeah, it was so fucking. Why don't we have another one of the bigs? Why don't we?
Because they don't.
So I asked that to say then, like, what reason would you all have to unsubscribe to Game Pass? Because
I have no reason to unsubscribe.
I have no reason. Yeah, I'm trying to find a reason why I'd be like, yeah, I'm unsubscribing, and that I have to announce it to the world. I see no reason to do so. Can you all tell me why you would need to?
It's like I feel like if not for me personally, but if you're someone who is only looking forward to Starfield and for some reason you subscribe right now, then I guess unsubscribe. But it's like you don't need to announce it to the world. It's not a big life decision to unsubscribe from a service. It's just
Twitter likes, Matt.
Twitter likes. That's really the only reason. It's just Twitter clout. And I guess if that's what you're after, then God bless, I guess. But I mean, it's just seems weird to me. A little cringe to me, honestly. But I mean, it's like there's plenty to like because Plague's Tale comes out this year. I'm hyped for the sequel to Plague's Tale.
40K comes out this year.
I can't wait to play that with multiplayer. Like
allegedly, Atomic Heart still allegedly.
Dude, if Atomic Heart comes out this year, if they can somehow pull it off,
the corner.
I can't wait for Sniper Elite. I can't wait. Dude, I can't wait to shoot Nazis' balls off. Let's go.
And not only that, we don't know what's coming on June 12th still. So why are we rushing to be like, oh, I'm out of here?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the thing. That's what I understand if like you're canceling it until June 12th, but like a lot of people are like, oh, once this is up. But I'm like, the thing is though, it's like, why are you announcing it now when we're like 2 weeks away from the event? I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of get it because it's probably they think they're building like a social media pressure on Xbox and Microsoft, and I get it to a point. But at the same time, though, it's like the timing's weird. I don't fucking.
But even with that, Microsoft knows that the Starfield and Redfall thing has a negative effect. They understand it. They don't need you on. I mean, I'm sure you think it helps, and that's fine. But they don't need you on Twitter. Like, I'm done with Xbox. It's like, dude, they fucked up. They get it. They know. Yeah. Like they're very well aware of this. It's like it's like you can give them feedback and stuff, but just to be like, I'm unsubscribing. This is stupid. It's like, okay,
what you doing?
Yeah,
I guess.
It doesn't move the needle. Just me. I think that's
it doesn't at all.
Yeah, it doesn't move the needle because they know that they messed up. They know they have to give us showstoppers at this showcase. I'm only expecting great things now because they now are missing Redfall and 100%. They're going to have to make up with that, at least with something like third party or something. So they're going to have to do something. They know it.
Dude.
Yeah. So that's only more that's only more good things for us, the way I look at it.
Umbra, I was thinking something, and I mean, we could say this about pretty much all the companies, but there are times where like if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me frustrated last week about this whole delay, and not just because of the whole like Starfield Redfall, but just the whole like
what the hell's going on?
Like just like it seems like we're always stepping on a nail right before we hit the finish line. But like my thing is like, hold on a second, like I'm mad at you, but it doesn't mean that I'm going ahead and stop supporting you, because then I feel like we're going backwards a little bit. I mean, I understand if I don't use it and I don't find it like necessary, like, oh man, I only played like 2 games like a month on it, so it's not, and I don't really have that many friends to play with that much, so it's not really for me. Cool, whatever. But there's been plenty of times where I've got pissed off by Sony, still paid for their online thing because I need it. Yep. Pissed off at Xbox, still paying for the online because I need it.
Yep.
Pissed off at Nintendo, still paying for the online. I don't need it.
No one needs that.
I don't need
Yeah,
it. But the
you
thing
don't
is
need
I'm
that.
still gonna support the companies that I feel are doing their best to provide me a good service. If they
Yep.
purposely go outside of their way to do something that disgusts me and has no benefit at the end of the day, then let's talk
Yep.
about it.
Right.
But right now they halted something. Yes, that pissed me off, but they did it for the better. They didn't do it to screw you over. So at the
That's
end of the
the point.
day,
Absolutely.
so here now I'm mad, but at the end of the day, I'm still gonna take a dub because
Yeah.
Still gonna take a
because I'm
dump?
with
I'm just kidding.
a dub.
I'm
Good,
just
good,
kidding.
good
I'm
God.
sorry.
I mean, I might take a dub, but I don't know. I can't see that far down in the future. But
No, you have to hold
but
it,
I feel
man.
like
Sorry, go on.
but I do feel like there's a lot of hype to like be angry and mad right now. But I feel like a lot of people aren't at least like if you're gonna be angry and mad, and I feel exactly what you said on your show earlier, Umbra, is like if you're gonna do that, have a reason. Don't just grandstand it. Have a
Yeah.
reason to do it. Like, hey, like I don't like it because I've been having a lot of issues with cloud gaming, and I mainly play on the cloud because I don't have a console right now, or I only play because I have it on Xbox One, and it's just not that fun to me right now. Well, that's
Right.
a pretty damn good reason. But if you're just like, hey, I unsubscribed from Game Pass, he.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. I think a lot of the people who were coming out saying this were agenda laden. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everyone. I think Gene Kim, was it Gene Camp? I forgot his name. Gene
Take him.
yeah, not take him. He's definitely agenda laden. But Gene
Oh yeah,
Park,
Gene Park. Gene Park.
yeah, Gene Park, I think was actually coming from a real genuine place
Yeah, Gene
because
Park's a
Yeah.
good dude.
yeah, I've seen him. I've seen his takes. I know he's even had a fit. Had Sony fanboys had a fit with him over his takes and things like that, where he was just being honest about what he felt about PlayStation. So I believe his is coming from a genuine place. I do not believe that would take him, who has
Oh,
used
not at all.
Xbot and all this type of stuff. And this is a guy who's supposed to be a supposed journalist and everything like that, who
Yeah.
comes and does console warring.
Yeah.
He's even been in a space I've been in before where he was, oh, I'm just so disappointed, and this guy doesn't care
Yeah.
about Xbox. He doesn't care
It's
about Xbox at all. He wants the Xbox to fail.
yeah,
Everything he
and
talks about is in some way some slight to Xbox. If you've paid attention to him over the past
100%.
few years, so I don't take people like him serious when it comes to
Yeah,
things like that.
definitely.
They have agendas, agenda and clout. So I don't take them serious. And again, we go back to what are you here for as far as the Game Pass? What does it all for you? And all those things you named Ham and Mike and Matt, that's more than enough reason for me to hold on. Like I can pause
Yep.
enough just to see for June 12th. And I'm a long time subscriber. So I'm
Oh yeah.
subscribed for years out. I'm not unsubscribing to anything because yeah, what's the use of that? I'm here long
Yeah,
term because I expect long term gains from this with Microsoft. They just got to get their ducks in a
100%.
row. That's the problem. Is that they just haven't stuck that landing, like you were saying, Ham. It seems like something comes right in the way, right when they're right at the finish line, and then they fumble the ball. So I'm going to give them the
Feel
leeway.
like the Tennessee Titans versus the Rams that
Oh, I
year.
remember that
Just like,
game.
damn it.
I'll never
Just a
forget
yard
that.
short.
Yeah, I'll never forget that game. Never forget that with George. She was going up there, man. But so that's my thing. Like we have to give them a little leeway to see what they'll do for us at least to June 12th. Let's just see what they do.
Yeah.
If they don't announce some crazy stuff that we can expect this year, if not even from third party, then absolutely I could see people being like, nah, you know,
Yeah.
But right now, as it stands, no, I'm not going to be mad about them delaying a game for quality reasons. And I'm not going to unsubscribe to try to prove a point that's not going to move a needle.
I
And
think
my soul
it
needs.
even make more sense if they did it if all this unsubscribing stuff happened like after the event. That
Yeah,
would make more
exactly.
sense.
I agree. That'll be
Like to
more
where it's
powerful.
like, all right, I don't really have to say a whole lot. Y'all seen the event too. I'm gonna subscribe.
Exactly.
But just to do it just a couple weeks before,
Yeah.
It
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 feels
sounds
like an
like you're trying to
agenda, right?
downplay. It sounds like you're trying
Yeah.
to downplay something that you know is pretty good, especially with PlayStation's coming right around the corner. I seen something that K Mega posted that I thought was fantastic. He's like, "Wait a second, y'all saying that the best value in gaming is PlayStation Plus now, but you never get day and date games on that. So whereas
Right.
like and he wasn't hating on like what the games have. He was just saying like, how can you call something the best when it doesn't give you like a lot that like a clear amount of wow, this feels like I'm stealing a little bit. That's what it kind of feels like in Game Pass.
It
It
does,
kind of
doesn't
feels
it?
like,
Yeah.
oh man, it feels like, oh man, I'm getting way more than what I paid for. Oh, I better buy this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm getting over. Yeah, exactly. I feel
You
you.
don't. I don't think I'll feel that way 1 second of having the PlayStation One, and there's no hate to the PlayStation One because I'm gonna try it out regardless, so I can give it a
Yeah,
solid
100%.
a solid personal review of it.
Yeah.
But me knowing that they're not going to have anything day on date, it's like, all right, well, you're already in second place.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
You nailed
that
it.
just because I don't want to drag it on too long. I think people are just saying that because like, well, Microsoft isn't even releasing anything day and date, so that's kind of where they're coming from, and it was kind of like an own. But when you think about it, if Microsoft gets their shit together and stuff does start actually launching, then yeah, you get a PS1
Right.
game on your streaming service. Like, and I love, and trust me, I want them to embrace backwards compatibility. It needs to freaking
Oh, yeah.
happen. But like, it's like once stuff like Starfield and Avowed comes out, you're gonna tell me you being able to stream a PS3 game is a much better value. Get the hell out of here.
Seriously.
All right.
It's like there's too much value. And it's only a matter of time. Like you would hope it happens sooner than later, but it's like eventually Microsoft, if this Activision deal goes through, they got like 40 studios. Some people are going to be making games. You're going to have a lot of games, and they're all going to be in there on day one. So it's kind of the value's kind of undeniable in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, we
Again,
better.
again,
Go
it's up to
ahead.
Yeah.
Microsoft. It's up to Microsoft to really sell us on why Game Pass is the place to be, and I think they're going to do
Yes,
that June 12th. Personally, I think they
I
know
think
they
so
have
too,
to.
man.
They might be
I
making
think
new
so.
deals right now just to say, "Oh, okay, we messed up. We got to get this. We got to get this
Yeah,
now." So
Bruh,
I'm expecting good
could
things.
you imagine either having like I'm this is a big hypothetical, but could you imagine like, oh man, we're sorry we messed up. Here is like what's that new game that's coming out of like Harry Potter or
Oh,
oh
dude.
whoops
oh,
here's
dude.
a or oh whoops here's
Here's
was it
Gotham
Gotham
Knights,
Knights or
right?
Dead Space
or
remake.
last of all, possibly even sooner than later, they just throw out and say, here's a Saints Row. Here you go,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
Saints
say
Row.
if they
And I
played
ain't gonna
Saints Row
lie,
and Gotham Knights, I'd be all for it.
I thought Saints Row was gonna be pretty damn mid,
I
but
did too.
Umbra, you sent a video or you retweeted a video on Twitter that had the gameplay of it, and I was just sitting there
Man,
rubbing my chin like this the whole time, like,
you and me both, brother.
yo.
I was like, okay, I thought this game was trash, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, nah, this looks all right. I had to hit the high note
Yeah.
on them. This looks all right. Yeah, okay. That little squirrel suit jumping out of the car like that. Like somebody pointed out, I know Kenshi said it.
just
She said it
cause.
looked kind of Fortnite-ish to her in some
Oh, okay.
ways. But I definitely
Right.
get the Just Cause vibes. Absolutely, Just
Yeah.
Cause absolutely pops to mind, and it looks
Yep.
fun. It looks genuinely fun. Like if I had to play
Does.
something, sit down and play something, I can see this being that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like Just
definitely.
Cause with the swag of like kind of Fortnite. Not gonna lie.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly
I'm
what it
not
is.
Yeah,
sure
that's
how
a good
much
way to
I'll
put it.
love that kind of swag, but at the same time it seems very customizable, so
It does.
maybe I can transition it into something that I like instead of them just giving me a template and saying, this is what you got.
That's true. And I know it's
Yeah.
the whole hippie thing, the whole like whatever, college students and all that aspect rub
Hmm.
people the wrong way. It definitely rubbed me the wrong way. Cause like what happened to the gangsters? What happened to, the Gat and
Right.
everything else?
Yeah.
But if the customization is so over the top that it doesn't matter, I can get over that. So I want to see
Yeah.
what they do with it. But what I saw, I'm actually very excited for Saints Row now. Not excited for the price tag if it's $70 though. Still, I
Oh,
haven't turned.
yeah.
I still don't care for $70 games. I'm sorry, but yeah, man,
I'm there
put
with
that
you
in
on that.
Gotham Knights inside of Game Pass. I'll be praising Game Pass if they do that, and I think many people will too.
Oh yes, I mean
100%.
any of those three games, I'd be. And then on top of it, they say that Forza's, all right, man, I better
Yeah,
stop. I better
yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
We are getting to the conclusion of the show, and before we go, I always like to ask everybody, and I want you to try to keep this brief because we are over that hour and 40-minute mark. I want each of us to pick a game that's forever under or overrated.
Oh, damn.
First
All
one I'm
right.
gonna pick is Mike.
I totally had the game chosen. Underrated. Half-Life Blue Shift. Not enough people talk about Half-Life Blue Shift. Yeah, it might not have been the best
Half-Life
addition to the
Blue Shift?
Half-Life. It's
I've never even heard of that.
so there's Half-Life and then there's Half-Life Opposing Force and then Half-Life Blue Shift. Half-Life Blue Shift is known as the weaker one. You play as Barney Calhoun. I personally think it's fantastic. I think it's really fun. He's a security guard in Black Mesa. I honestly think it's really fun. A lot of people don't really care for it. They think it's weakest one, and it kind of is. But I think it's fun. I think it's a good addition, and it's just fun to play. So yeah, I was definitely prepared to take that ham.
Well, you're the
Yeah.
one that made that look. I didn't tell you to do that. You look like you look like that monkey that knows he's doing something wrong. He's just like looking forward and then he looks to the side a little bit. All right, Matt, how about you?
Oh man, that's tough. I think I'm gonna go with.
No pressure.
I think I'm gonna go
No
with.
pressure.
It's not underrated, but I'm calling it underrated because they've refused to make a sequel to it so far, and that's Max Payne 3. Like, very not underrated game, but it's like,
Mm,
when are we getting Max Payne again? I know we're getting the remakes, but come on now. Like, can we please get a Max Payne 4? Like, please let these remakes lead to something, please.
yeah.
Is what I'm saying here. Definitely not an underrated game, but it needs a sequel. We need to get on that.
Mhm.
Okay, and then Umbra.
For me, I look at the Xbox One gen and I think of games like Rise, Son of Rome. I think of
Oh yeah.
Quantum Break. All these games
Yeah.
that unfortunately got to me, I think, got the negative reactions to Xbox One. But
Oh yeah.
I'll go further away. I'll say Mad Max, highly underrated. And if you look at the
Okay.
review scores for that one, I believe on PlayStation 4, it got a 69. On Xbox, it got like a 72. Both seem way too low for me. I thought it was at least an 8 out of 10. At the very least, that game. And we haven't had a sequel for it yet. And I think the reception and I think it didn't sell as well either.
FPS
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
boosted, by the way. 120
Yeah.
on Xbox
Yeah.
120
One X.
FPS. Yep.
I'm going to jump back into it soon. Absolutely.
You
Maybe I'll
need
do
to.
Recore and then that. But yeah, absolutely. I still love Avalanche because of that game. Like that's a spectacular game. Don't you agree, Mittens? Meow.
Yes.
Yep. See. So
Don't you agree, honey buns?
yeah,
Don't you
there
agree?
she is. There she is. She came back into the picture.
There it
She's
is.
like, yeah. So Mad Max, I would say, is highly underrated in my opinion. I think more people need to play it and give it a chance. It's not the greatest like story ever told or anything like that. It's just a fun game. Period. It's just a
Yeah.
worthwhile, fun game to play, and that's saying something because it's in that post-apocalyptic kind of, car combat thing. It's weird to kind of place it as far as a lot of modern games go because how do you sell an open world that's like empty-ish in a way and void, right? But
Yeah.
that I think they did a good job with that one personally, and it also had
They
that
did.
kind of Arkham Asylum combat.
That fighting.
That
Yeah.
yeah, they did. I thought it was dope, man. I highly underrated. I wish it had a sequel, or at least it got one. But you never know what the future holds, I suppose.
Maybe one day.
All right, and then I'll carry us out with the last one. I have two this time, but I have a feeling that the first one I'm gonna bring up a lot of people aren't gonna know. But if you do know, let me know in the chat or on the panel. Let me know if you've heard of the game. But the first one I'm gonna bring up is Speed Punks for the OG PlayStation. Super
Speed
good game.
Punks. Oh my
Speed
god.
bumps.
I haven't thought of that game in forever, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Own that.
Oh
my.
That game to me was better than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Not
that's
gonna
that
lie.
kart
Slippery.
racer. That's
A
the
little
kart
slippery,
racer,
but yeah, I
right?
agree.
Mm-hmm.
They had it on PlayStation 1, right? Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that. I don't remember playing too much of it, but I do remember it.
Oh, that game
Speed
was
punks, dude.
so
Oh my
dope.
god. That's a throwback.
I've
All right,
never
sorry.
seen this. Nice.
That's a throwback, dude. Holy
Heavy
shit.
throwback, I know, right? Hail Mary throwback.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
And then the recent one that I wanted to bring up is the game isn't bad. The game is fantastic. But due to its timing, I feel like it could have did better. And I'm gonna say Dying Light 2. I feel like that game is super, super underrated.
It is.
That game is a lot of fun. I haven't even got to play multiplayer on that game yet, which, yo, boys, let's
we
go.
need to.
Like,
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Like that, I forgot about the multiplayer part of that because I was
That's
so
broken.
into the story.
It was broken at launch for like a month. That's
Okay,
why.
well, there's that too. I forgot about that. But I mean, come on now. It came out during Elden Ring. Like, even though it came out before Elden Ring, it was still too soon.
I mean,
It was still too close in proximity.
Yeah, lots of things came out before Elden Ring. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, before, after, it didn't matter. Elden Ring.
Pretty much.
With the sweep. They pulled,
Oh,
the
very
Elden
clean
Ring
sweep.
came out with the broom, didn't they?
Yeah. Now
They did.
the new narrative is going to be that the reason they really delayed Starfield is so they can avoid losing to Elden Ring Game of the Year.
I've already seen that. I've already seen that.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that I wouldn't doubt that some of these things, I'm not saying like Starfield particularly, but I'm sure that there have been some people that looked at some games, and like, I mean, I personally think maybe even Saints Row looked at the time and they were like, "Yo, I don't want to launch right next to this." I don't know about that. We could probably get better sales if we launch sometime when not a lot of other games is launching, but this looks extremely filled right now. This space looks full. I'm gonna come back.
Oh yeah.
Mitten says goodbye, everyone. Just letting you know.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I think though. I think Dying Light 2 is a great game that I'm hoping. I know a lot of people bought the game, but I wonder how many people finished the game.
I'm gonna get the last level.
I don't think I still have technically, or did I? I can't remember. I need to beat it if I haven't. But it's so good. You're totally right,
so
and it's
good.
very
because
overlooked.
so many people, just like me, bought that game, got really dug into it. Elden Ring came out, and I think some people don't even remember that they bought it.
Yeah.
That could be the problem, honestly.
It just slipped.
I need to beat Elden Ring. Oh my god, we're so over the time limit though.
All right, yeah, we better get going. But anyways, Umbra, I appreciate you for coming out.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thanks for dealing with us with
much,
this extra long episode.
Oh, no doubt. Thank you all for having me.
It was a blast having you. You had some great knowledge, some good things to keep the conversation moving lively, and you had some great questions too. Even though I thought we'd be the ones asking you all the questions, you slipped in a few questions of your own, and I like that.
Just when you thought you had me cornered, flip it around. No, seriously, thank you all for having me. It was very interesting, and just to kick it with you guys and actually hear your thoughts and takes on things too. Because sometimes I don't get to hear. We've had a few talks, of course, in spaces and such, but Matt and Mike, I haven't really heard you guys on things too much as far as things. So it was really interesting to come and kick it with you guys too.
Yeah,
that was nice. Man. It was very nice.
Absolutely, same.
Yeah. I'm sure we'd love to have you back on, and maybe even
Oh
have you and Bushido on at the same time. I think that would be hilarious to
yeah.
have you two in there, because you two get to fighting like me and Loke do. Me and Loke
Oh
get to
man.
arguing like some angry ass brothers.
Yeah, Bushido, I always like to, give him his credit. He's a good guy. He's just a value version of me. That's all.
Value. Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General version. Exactly. Dollar
He
Tree.
said the great
Dollar General.
value.
Yeah, he's
Oh
good
man.
dude, He deserves some praise. Yeah. Just a little.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Not
trying.
not a lot though. But yeah.
All right. And now going ahead, Matt, let everybody know where they can find you.
Okay. So it's at Matt Likes Games on Twitter. The games is spelled with a 3 instead of an E. And then it's Matt Likes Games on YouTube. Try to put out more content there. Hopefully, once this Xbox show comes around, there's gonna be a lot to talk about. So that's probably when I'll start ramping up my content again. I want to start streaming a little bit more. Maybe over there, but mostly for right now, just find me here on the Game Drain. And then check me out on Twitter.
All right, Hard Days.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, I don't know why I would. God help you. You're gonna see some creepy stuff. Just kidding. It's Hard Days Mike. I stream on Twitch from time to time. It's not really a thing. It's just kind of for fun. That's also Hard Days Mike. You get to watch me scream at things because everything scares me apparently. Except Doom Eternal, they're afraid of me. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
um,
those are facts.
yeah. So yeah, that's where I am. Nowhere else. Don't look for me. I
Umbra,
don't
have you
exist.
ever seen this full play Doom?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
It's
Oh, dude.
disrespectful. It's
The
disrespectful.
things I do to those demons.
It's inhuman. It's
Stuffing their
inhuman.
eyeballs through the ass and
Oh,
everything.
dude, I do some filthy things. All right, that's enough of that, though.
Yeah, it's inhuman.
Yeah.
And you can hear it. You can hear his controller getting frustrated the way he be smashing them
I'm broken
buttons.
2 controllers because of Doom. Like not even because of rage, just because of how much I play and how fast I play. So
Yep.
I know my boy MJ Hernandez. He's pretty damn good at Doom too. So might have to challenge him sometime. I know he
Yep.
challenged us. Said 2v1 him. I'm like he'll go against us by himself. I'm like, oh.
he told me he couldn't. I saw that group chat. He told me he didn't
Yeah.
want to face. He told me he didn't want to face me.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. Even count to you.
Oh, there's
Okay.
the smoke right there. I like it.
All right.
I mean, he might win. I've never played battle mode, though. I don't play that multiplayer mode because I think it's bad. I think it's stupid. I don't know. That's just my take. That's my take, though. That's my
All
take.
right.
What would I know?
And then I guess I'll go real quick, and then I'll let Umbra. Or actually, no, you go on ahead and go, Umbra, so I can close it out proper.
Well, you guys can find me, of course, on Twitter under Umbra Infinite or Infinite Umbra. You'll find me one way or another. And of course, on Xbox under Super Havoc. And I'm starting to do a Twitch thing more often, man. And I did so you can find me under Super_Havoc on Twitch. I'm trying to post more videos, at least when we have our community nights and stuff like that, and put that out there for people to watch us play too. So you can also find me on the PlayStation under this underscore as well, Super_Havoc. I probably won't ever play anything with you on there because it's just for my first party exclusives. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can come and somebody can look at my credentials or something and try to call me out. Oh, hey, look at this bot. He doesn't
Keep
play
tabs
anything on here, right? So, but other than that, fellas, I really appreciate you guys having me through. And also, you all can find me. I forgot to say this in the Xbox Infinite podcast on Fridays for us in America and Saturdays for the Aussie future people. But at 8 o'clock Eastern, so 7 p.m. here for me Central. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys for having me come through. And anytime
Thank
you all
you.
need me to come through, let me know. I got you.
Absolutely, man.
That's
Thank
what's
you
up.
very much.
All right, and then last but not least, Ham Solo 05 Gaming on Twitter is where you can find me. If you want to get a hold of me, whether you want to be part of this show, Behind Them Sticks, or just want to chit chat about possibly coming on any of those shows, just holler at me there. On my YouTube channel, you'll find me at TSWS Gaming. Stands for They Said We Said. I exclusively on that channel do Behind Them Sticks with all sorts of people around the world. Speaking of around the world, this Tuesday I have John Linneman from Digital Foundry coming on.
Ooh.
So it will be a really interesting episode. That is going to be
Nice.
an early episode, though. 1 p.m. 1 p.m.
Oh,
is
there we
that
go.
episode because he is in Germany. And I was not
Damn.
going to force him to be at my time because that would just be
Yeah.
I don't think he'd even agree to it. But even if I
No.
I don't even want to put that evil on anybody because that's way too late. That's way. I mean, we talking 4 or 5 in the morning for him or something like that. So I ain't trying to do that to bro.
That's a good get right there, though, for you, Ham. Absolutely.
I
That's
got
a really
him
good get.
and John Wolf coming on Thursday. So I got Linneman on John Linneman on Tuesday and then John Wolf on Friday. So it's a week for the Johns, I guess. Long Johns.
Long. Pause.
Big pause. All right. All right.
Thanks for watching, guys.
But yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. But yeah. Thank you everybody for coming out and watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Share this out so other people can check it out. Subscribe if you really enjoy this type of stuff. But we are out of here. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.
See you
Thank
guys
you all.
later.